Good morning from a dishevelled pregnant lady who wants to organise her home that has turned into such a mess recently because I've been so busy and so tired. I am now, how many weeks am I? I'm 25 weeks, and one of the things I'd recommend if you're pregnant, I said this on Instagram, go to Vinted and buy some really loose baggy men's sweatpants. Can you even see? Are you too high? I got these sweatpants. They are, well, I've done the, here we go, get the drawstring ones so you can adjust them because these are way too big. They are so big, but it means you have all the room to hold baby. You can wear them lower down and you can wear them above, and they're super comfortable. And this is the outfit that I'm going to be sorting in today. I've got no makeup on, haven't even washed my face today. I've been out in the rain, so I want to start by putting all the food away because I just went food shopping, and wiping the fridge because it's an overdue job and it's annoying me so much. So we need to clean the fridge out. Just told me the battery is critical. Ah! Oh God, good. Just broke it, fantastic. Before I get the trolls saying I'm not vegan, someone left this here. Okay, it's so much easier to clean a fridge when you don't take it all out. I used to take all the drawers out, and while that makes it way cleaner, it just takes so long. So that was really fast. And now I need to fill it. It looks like it's full already, but if you are a cook, then you probably have a similar thing in the fridge. Lots of chutneys and sauces and ingredients. So, and also hilariously how much stock I have. But yeah, let's get to it. So very, very satisfying. A stuffed fridge to the brim. Excuse the messy hair, and I feel very bedraggled. But I just wanted to like interrupt the cleaning that absolutely floored me, to be honest. That day I went to bed and I was so exhausted because I really overdid it, but I just so wanted to get it done, and I feel so much better that it's done, which you'll see in a second hopefully. But yeah, doing that cupboard in the kitchen and the fridge was just so satisfying, and it really did make me feel a lot better. But I have been so humbled, is that the right word? I don't know what the right word is. That I've just been so like grateful for how many of you were so kind on my last 2 videos where I've opened up about my mental health during pregnancy. I was really scared to talk about it. I was afraid of coming across like I'm moaning or complaining, or that, you know, you'll get the inevitable, oh for goodness sake, you know, this is ridiculous kind of comments, or people kind of being negative that you are complaining about something, saying, oh, you're privileged, or you've got so much to be happy for, what have you got to worry about, etc. I did get a couple of those. But the overwhelming response was just so kind. People telling me to take it easy and to validate what I'm going through and say, you've been through the same many years ago, or you're going through the same currently. So many of you giving me advice, giving me help. And just, I feel like we've built such a community on here of mainly women. I know there are some guys who watch, and there's some lots of people watch, but I feel like there is a community of us who just, I feel like it's a safe place now because of how I've been open with you and how I've received so much support from you, and messages where people are just like, you opening up about this has made me go and seek therapy, or you opening up about it has made me realise that I do have a problem that I want to do something about, or I felt less alone, or I'm gonna kind of try and get better. And that is honestly, if there's anything on my channel that's made me feel fulfilled, that is that. It's helping you guys with your mental health and making you feel like you're not alone, because you make me feel like I'm not alone. And I don't know you, but we have this connection now, and I truly think that it's so empowering, especially with the state of the world right now and everything that's going on. It's made me feel empowered as a woman to open up about it, because I did mention in the last video how we are often silenced when it comes to our problems. We're often ignored when it comes to health and mental health, surrounding pregnancy, menopause, periods. It's a tale as old as time. We're supposed to just suck it up and deal with it. And I even see that from like the handful of comments that I got about me talking about it. And it's this misunderstanding, this ignorance around mental health, but also just this kind of pressure that women have to just deal with it and get on with life and not be like a downer, or not have this kind of perfect perception of what it should be like to be a woman, or to be pregnant, or to get older, or have your period, or whatever it is. I feel like we're also affected, and yet we don't feel capable of actually feeling what we feel and accepting that that's what it is. And it has caused so much trouble in my life. And I'm just done with that trouble now. I'm gonna have a little girl, and I want to model for her that being a woman is very complicated, and it has its ups and downs, and it's completely valid. So thank you for being so kind. It means a lot. One thing that I have noticed recently as well that I probably didn't really bring up much in the last video is, because it's getting warmer now and the spring is here, I'm having this kind of sense, or I kind of did mention it, I'm having this sense of like, oh, I've got so much to do, I need to be out, I need to be gardening, I need to be getting on, I need to be doing fun things, I need to book a holiday. And I'm seeing a lot on social media of like people in their gardens growing vegetables and people going on lovely holidays and people going out to eat and having lovely, you know, things with their friends. And I'm getting that kind of pressure to feel like I should be doing all of that. It's actually giving me quite a lot of social anxiety and making me kind of retreat. It does the opposite to me. It makes me feel like, oh, I just want to kind of be at home alone, and makes me feel more lonely. And I wonder if any of you are feeling the same way, because I look outside now and it's sunny and I feel like I need to be out there, I need to be doing stuff, I need to be getting in the garden, or I need to be like planning something fun because it might rain tomorrow. And there's like added pressure of like the summer's coming up, and obviously I've got a baby on the way, so I've got to get all this stuff done. Even like the spring cleaning element, like there is a part of me that feels like under pressure, obviously, to get everything ready for baby, and get the spring cleaning done and get this kind of transition into a new season sorted and feel productive. And I notice that in the seasons when they change, and I think that it's a really like helpful thing to notice it if it's happening to you. So I don't know if any of you feel that way. Please let me know if you do, and I'm not alone in that. So with all that said, I want to introduce the paid partnership of today's video, who are BetterHelp, who I've been working with for a really long time and who I've been having therapy with throughout my pregnancy. They have been such a beacon of hope for me. My therapist is my favourite therapist I've ever had, and I love her. She's so great. She's helped me in so many ways, and I actually look forward to my therapy sessions with her now, because I feel so understood and validated by her. And it's been such a positive experience for me that if you are someone who has been thinking about your mental health, if you've been going through something, if you feel like you can relate when it comes to spring and summer and that pressure, if you can relate in terms of pregnancy and you've been feeling quite lonely and down, and you are trying to find that kind of, I guess, outlet for that support from somebody, I cannot recommend BetterHelp anymore. Anxiety often does peak in the springtime, so my paid partner BetterHelp can help to connect you to a therapist who can support you during this time. Majority of members for BetterHelp seek support for anxiety, which is obviously what I talk about a lot. I know so many of you share that you have anxiety, and 69% of people who get help through BetterHelp report that after 6 weeks their symptoms with anxiety have improved, which is fantastic. That's such a high amount of people saying after such a short amount of time. So it's very easy. If you've not heard of BetterHelp, you fill out a quick questionnaire. I did this process and it doesn't take very long. Just answering questions about yourself, what support you need, what mental health struggles you're going through, what problems you're experiencing, and also what you would like from a therapist. You're then partnered with somebody, a therapist, a credentialed therapist, very, very quickly. I think I was partnered within 48 hours. And if you have a therapy session and you want to change therapists, it's also completely fine to do that, no extra cost. You can switch therapists because you want to make sure that you are connected with somebody and that you feel comfortable to be open with them, which I think is such a good and important part of BetterHelp, that I've had therapists in the past I've not felt connected with, and then I've changed therapists, and it's really, really great that that's not going to be an extra cost to you. They carefully make sure that all the therapists are well qualified. My therapist is very qualified. She has a background in neuroscience, and they also have an incredible customer support team who's there to help you at any time. They have over 7,000 reviews and a 4.3 rating on Trustpilot, so they're a platform that you can trust, and I trust. So if you have been watching me and you have been experiencing similar problems, if you can relate to lots of the mental health struggles I've been having, or there's something different going on with you and you haven't had therapy before, I would really, really recommend reaching out to somebody and being open about what's going on with you. And I would therefore really recommend BetterHelp because I've only had a really positive experience with them. You get 10% off your first month of therapy with my link, so I'll leave that down below for you, and I wish you all of the best. Your mental health is important and you're worth listening to and being validated and supported when you're going through a hard time. So thank you to BetterHelp, and let's get back to some cleaning. So I can't do the fridge and not do the pantry because I want to put the food shop away properly. And the pantry, I feel like what's happened is I keep loading extra food in and not like replenishing or checking what's in stock. So there's probably food in there that needs to go into the compost if it's old. Though I did this not that long ago, so it should be okay. It might just be more of a case of actually like just decanting things. I want to like rearrange where things go because I feel like there's things at the top that I use quite regularly, like sugars or things for baking. And then there's lots of things in here that I just don't use very often. So I'm going to rearrange and try and take stock of what I've got so that next week when I do the food shop, I can, and when I look at my cookbooks for what to cook, I can think about what's in the cupboard already and think, okay, we're gonna use those ingredients up. Because I've just been doing some like recipe testing recently and having to buy like specific things, and that's why this has happened. So let's start top down? Yeah, top down. I have reorganised this cupboard so many times with you, and I truly think this is the best one yet because everything is fitting so much better. So at the top we have sugars and miscellaneous. I did say I'd move them, but actually that's the best place because of the height of those jars. The next shelf we've got vegetables, those like stock items, and then I've moved all the nuts here. The nuts used to be in the drawer, and the amount of times I buy nuts and we already had them is ridiculous. So if they're there, they're so much more accessible. I use them all the time. So like things like cashews, I use all the time for pasta sauces, pine nuts for pesto. I snack on mixed nuts. They're great for baking. I use them a lot, so it just makes a lot more sense for them to be there, and they also can keep track of what I do or don't have. This shelf is the same. The reason I kind of moved things around recently is because Alex started having cereal, and so did I because of being pregnant. It's just a really great snack. In fact, actually that can move. Here I've cleared loads of the mugs because we have way too mugs, and some of them can go to kitty wake, and there is now a permanent space for coffee because Alex is always moaning that there's no room for the coffee. I can put extra milk here and it just makes a lot more sense. And I've got the granulated sugar at the back if anyone comes over and they have sugar. Alex and I don't. These I need to store. This makes me so happy because originally we had like coffee, chocolate and beans, which made no sense. Now we've got beans and like passatas and tins, basically, grains, condiments, and then extra little bits. Makes loads more sense like that. This is all baking. For some reason we got to the point where the bread stuff and then the cake baking stuff were separate. Now the baking is all in one place, and actually these two drawers being higher up makes more sense because these are like heavier items. So like tins and stuff, if they're lower down, that's just more difficult. I just find it kind of annoying that the bottom drawer is baking and you'd be lugging out these big things of flour and icing, sugar, and it's like really low on the ground. So makes sense to have like the heavier things higher up so you can just grab them easier. And it's kind of like decorating bits, flowers, sugars and sweeteners, and then like baking powder, bicarb, yeast. This one we have loads of room, but again it just feels like, I don't know what I was thinking before, the way I had laid out. Now I've got nut butters and like Biscoff spread, other spreads. This is like miscellaneous fruits and nuts, which will be the things that you don't use as much. So like flaked almonds or desiccated coconut, dried apricots, whereas I've put the raisins and sultanas up here because they're used a lot more. We have a space here for something. And now we finally have a dedicated snack drawer. I've also destroyed the kitchen. I was doing this and I was thinking like previously I would try and do it all neatly. And then I was like, realistically, why am I doing that? That takes so much more time just for the sake of like filming and making it look pretty. When actually I think it's far better just to make a mess and to just sort everything out, and then you can clear afterwards. It's quicker. Anyway, for the longest time, we just had like one of those plastic containers for snacks, and it would get really stuffed. It would move around all over the place. And I think it's kind of like almost like a bit of a remnant of my issues when it comes to food, my kind of black and white thinking when it comes to food. And since being pregnant, I'm just snacking a lot more and wanting a lot more variety in food, because that's the reality. Because sometimes you just are so hungry that having like apples and nuts or something healthy is just not going to cut it. Before being pregnant, I could happily have 3 meals a day with one snack and that would be fine. Whereas now I have to snack in the morning, I have to snack multiple times in the afternoon, and I just want a packet of crisps, or I want chocolate, and it's just the only thing that's going to meet my needs because I'm hungry, and that's the reality. And thinking about my daughter, and when I have her, I know this is like separate to organising and nesting. Roxy, I know this is separate to organising and nesting, but it is pregnancy related. But thinking about having my daughter, I've been thinking a lot more about my approach to food, and how maybe because of my mental health going through a bit of a rough patch, feeling quite emotional at the minute, how I've been having thoughts around food being labelled as good and bad more. I feel like you've all been on a journey with me, and I've learnt and unlearnt so many things over the years when it comes to having a history of an eating disorder and gaining weight and all these sorts of things. And I've noticed recently my moralistic language around food returning in my brain. So when I'm having food, I'm thinking, oh, this is unhealthy, this is healthy, this is bad, this is good. And I think that that's just anxiety and stress coming up from pregnancy. So it's nice to have a drawer which has got snacks in it, and all the snacks are going to be mixed up. We're not going to have like healthy snacks, unhealthy snacks. We're just going to have, I'm going to have chocolate, biscuits and crisps, or savoury snacks. So yeah, sweet, savoury and biscuits and cereal bars, and they're all the same. Doesn't matter what it is, and I would really recommend this. This was like quite a nice little first step if you have moralistic kind of thoughts when it comes to food, to mix your food up in the cupboards so that you don't view it that way as much, so that you're going into the drawer and you're thinking, what do I truly want? Because if you deny yourself unhealthy foods or bad foods, your desire for them will increase, and everybody is different. But personally, me keeping those foods out of the house or trying to avoid them altogether is never going to work. I end up wanting them and then going to the shops and buying them and having them and having too much of them. Like I'll eat a whole chocolate bar or a huge bag of crisps in one go. When if you have them available to you at all times, it kind of reduces that desire, that insatiable, like, oh, I really want to have it and I want to have all of it, but I've been healthy this week, so I'm just going to eat this and get it out of the way. It's nice. It's just like a moment I'm having, I suppose, just reflecting on looking in the drawer and thinking, we're going to have a whole drawer dedicated to snacks, and I've never allowed that before in my own mind or in my home, because I think of it as bad. When I go to other people's houses, they all have cupboards and whole sections and whole drawers and whole cupboards dedicated to snacks, because it's normal and it's okay, because we all eat meals, but we all eat snacks. And I want my daughter to be growing up in an environment where food is not moralized, and she has an education on nutrition, of course. She has all the foods available to her, and so she doesn't have this warped view of food. She can enjoy chocolate, and she can enjoy fruit, and she can enjoy crisps, and she can enjoy salad and vegetables, and they're all food. Humans naturally know what makes us feel good, and obviously I'll teach her and educate her about nutrition, so she has that knowledge. But yeah, I don't want that language used in front of her, and I don't want to bring up someone who's going to have anxiety or the temptations that I have felt in my life because of just being brainwashed, honestly, by diet culture. So a little moment, and Alex will be very happy because there'll be a whole drawer for snacks and we can fill it up, and it's no longer going to be stuffed to the brim, me trying to like shove it in a drawer that clearly we need more space for, and then we end up having snacks in random places because we've bought more snacks than I've made space for in my home. Just crazy. Anyway, if you have a similar experience where you just try and have like healthy food in your house and don't allow space for other things, maybe, but you're actually still buying those foods, maybe just allow the space for them, because who has time for that? You know, who has time for that? I know I'm healthy, I eat lots of variety in my diet, and I ain't gonna let that kind of thought process creep back up in my head. I've got a lot of teaching to do for my daughter, and yeah, food is not to be demonized. So look at this. Let's fill up this snack drawer with my favourites. So this is my choice, proper chips, salt and vinegar. And then these are accidentally vegan, the prawn cocktail. What's it? I love these as well. I've actually had a packet today. And these are, well, I bought these with Alex in mind, so I know he loves them. And then we have tortilla chips because I'm going to have fajitas at the weekend, and I thought I probably would make too much guacamole, and that can be a nice little dip for them. And then we've got some Nature Store rice cakes. I actually love rice cakes. And then these 2 chocolate bars, which are some of my favourites. This buttermilk brand, they've got like a kind of Mars bar and Bounty alternative. These are so good. And they can go in there. And this is going to be so great. I can just fill this up. Look at that. We can have all our yummy things in one place. These also are top tier. If you have these with some Nush cream cheese, the like the chive one, I think, they're so good. Or with hummus. So, as you can see, we have snacks that some people would quote unquote call healthy, as well as snacks that people would quote unquote call unhealthy, all in the same place because they're the same. Some of you I know are already going to say they're not the same, but I just don't think that mentality is helpful for anyone. If you're educated, you obviously know the difference, but you don't need to guilt trip yourself about it all the time, do you? I have the issue I've got too many beans because of the fact that I've cleared everything. I've got just too much stock in. Too many beans. I've got so many baked beans and stuff. Actually, maybe the kind of slightly unusual stuff can go over here because I don't need those as much. There we go. Good afternoon. I have spent most of today sleeping. Truly, I think yesterday knocked me out. After I cleared the kitchen, I cooked dinner and I was in so much pain I was hunched over. Really, I've been overdoing it. I went on a really long walk at the weekend and just, I cannot behave. I need to like get used to that. I cannot behave in the way I did when I wasn't pregnant. And it's not really registering. But I really want to sort these coats out. There's way too many coats. It's ridiculous. Like, we don't need this many coats. I also realised I still haven't done my like, I think in the just the mix up of everything happening in my life, I haven't moved my like spring summer clothes into my wardrobe. So that'll probably be in another video, but I'm just going to sort this because a lot of this can just go in the cupboard and we'll have more space because it's an eyesore. And I'm also going to think about the ones that I will sell because which ones did I or didn't I wear this winter, and Alex too. Okay, after all that, it's ridiculous how many coats we have, but I don't want to get rid of any of my coats. I have a coat addiction. Alex also has lots of coats that he does wear, and I do wear all of the coats. Like, I was looking through them and I was like, I've literally worn all of these on different occasions. I live in the countryside, obviously dog walks, it's always cold for most of the year, so it justifies having so many. But I have put a pile of all the kind of woolly, warm ones. This is the only one I'm going to sell. This is from Sea Salt, and it's just because it's too small. It's always been a bit too small. Like when I first bought it, it was a bit like the arms weren't quite long enough. It's such a practical coat. It really annoys me because that's the reason I got it, because it's long and it has a hood and it's warm and it's kind of waterproof. So that's why I bought it, because I actually don't own a coat that's got a hood that's also warm. It's because, no, I'm gonna sell it because I'll buy a new one next year. This is a size 12, and for me, for coats, because I'm tall, I need to buy a size up. I'm pregnant, obviously, so it doesn't fit me, but I'm usually a size 12 to 14. So buying a size 12 just means it's not gonna fit me and it's not gonna be comfortable. And coats, I like them to be loose and you can have a jumper underneath, and this just doesn't cut that. So I'm gonna sell it, and then next year I will buy myself a coat with a hood that's warm. The ones that I wear the most are my denim warm coat with like the fluffy inside, and my, both from charity shops, so maybe I can find one in a charity shop, and my like kind of farmer jacket, I call it. It's kind of like a barber coat, but not at all, and I've had it since university. People always ask me where I got it when I wear it, and I'm like, this is a really like old, gross jacket, but it's so practical for so many reasons. Anyway, one to sell, the rest to go in the cupboard, and I'm gonna put these back now. Still a lot of coats, but so much better. And we've got kind of, how many of Alex's are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of Alex's. It's 1, 2, 3 of mine. So Alex is actually the perpetrator of this. But he does wear them all. He literally does. He's a man. By that I mean his clothing, his like outfits always has a jacket. Like he wears t-shirts and trousers and a jacket. So it'll be one of these. Whereas obviously I've got a lot more clothes upstairs and other coats upstairs that I wear because I wear more variety. He's much more like simple with his clothes. Yeah, but these are my most worn jackets by far. I wear them all the time. Much better. The house is looking spick and span. I've just been to a midwife appointment and we had cleaners come and do a big clean of the house because, full transparency, I feel like lots of people on the internet share their like declutter videos or their cleaning videos and they don't share that they have cleaners, and I bet you a lot of them do because I know it is a privilege to have that, and it is such, honestly, it's one of the things that keeps me going the most. I love our cleaners. They're so kind and lovely. And I honestly it just has made such a big difference in my life for my own, like, my calm. And I feel so lucky and grateful that I can afford to do that and make that a priority, because I know that some people really can't and they have to do it all themselves. And I used to do that and it was so much work. So yeah, it's not lost on me how amazing that is to have. Anyway, this is the house now. It's all nice and clean, tidied, sorted and clean. Living room is looking glorious, nice and fresh. The only thing that's missing is a bouquet of flowers. I love to have some flowers. I'd love some flowers on here. We usually have some tulips or something. Roxy's just been very naughty and gobbled up Zeus's food. And then the kitchen is looking really nice and tidy, bar my lunch in the sink. Got some laundry that's hanging to dry. We have tulips in here and my lovely herbs, my seedlings that are all doing very well. The next job, which I wanted to do this week, but it'll probably be in the next video because I'm going to do so many more of these, is this corner cupboard. As you can see, I've been collecting some props and I want to reorganise this cupboard to be a prop cupboard. And right now it's just like a kind of a nothing cupboard. So that will be a really useful thing for me to do for the future for food photography and will make my life a lot easier, just have one place for it. But this room's looking glorious. Now I know we didn't do anything in the bathroom, but it's nice and clean. And look, the wisteria is coming out. My dad also just mowed the lawn because he is amazing, so look at that. We have a lovely made bed. And I'm out of breath because I've just walked up the stairs. But the bed is freshly made, new bedding, with my two kitties, which Alex got me when I was 18, at the first start of our relationship, when we first met. And I've had them ever since, and I cuddle them every night. And this is my lovely pregnancy pillow, which I will link because I actually have quite a few people asking me which pregnancy pillow I have. I actually bought this for my sister when she was pregnant. She's used it for both her pregnancies and then she's lent it back to me. So it's fantastic and we both loved it. Look at the wisteria out of the window. I'm so excited that it's finally coming back. You found a little treat of you. And then the dressing room is nice and tidy, bar my pyjamas. Here's some reality for you though. If you've been following along with the cottage renovation, this is where we're storing all of the things we've been buying for the cottage so that it doesn't take up space whilst we're renovating at the house. So we've got plates and cups and pillows and furniture and mirrors. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will be doing a few more episodes hopefully as the time goes on and I get nearer to baby arriving, which is I'm going to be my third trimester soon, so I want to do lots of organising and nesting before that happens in spring into summer. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.